All right, so we're getting started. Welcome everybody to another Archimedes Agora. This is our July Agora, and these are our monthly community meetings where we get together as a community and discuss recent developments at Archimedes, the roadmap, and just have an open discussion with the community. So this is also a time to ask questions or voice any feedback if you are joining us during these live. If you're catching the recording later on, we welcome you to leave feedback underneath wherever you're finding that recording, or join our Discord, which is where we speak together every day. Just join the community, voice those opinions there, and see what we're building here. For today's Agora, we are going to be number one, just doing a brief introduction of what this is. So just cover that portion. We then have a product roadmap. We're going to be jumping into marketing and business development updates. And then we like to do what we call a nerdy topic. So just something a little bit more technical, maybe for the true Archimedes community members out there. And then our deep dive topic of the day. So the deep dive is where we go into a little bit more detail and specifics about certain things that we maybe spoke to during the Agoras thus far, or in some of our content more recently. So that's what we have to look forward to today. If you follow Archimedes on Twitter, which hopefully you do, please consider liking and retweeting our tweet about today's Agora so that more people can join us and catch the recordings and just stay up to date on what we're doing here. All right. With that said, we're going to move into the agenda that I just discussed. And before we go too far into things, I want to introduce our new product manager, Max. I believe this is your first Agora, I believe, right, Max?
It is. Thanks, Alvin. Yeah. Hey, everyone. My name is Max. My Twitter and Discord is goodinvesting.eth. So if you see me around here, I'm, the new product manager at Archimedes. I've been involved in DeFi since it came about in DeFi summer 2020. I worked as a product manager at tech companies and finance companies for better part of 3 years now. Originally mechanical engineer, then software, then yeah. Now I'm here in product working on something I'm really passionate about in DeFi. So super excited to be here in Archimedes and super excited to be engaging with all of you. Please do reach out if you ever have ideas on the product or questions about the roadmap in general.
Nice. Thank you, Max, for that introduction. And reach out. We're happy to have a team full of Greeks here. We like to get nerdy, down and nerdy. Next, we're going to be moving on to our high-level update of the product roadmap. So Kyle's going to be doing this rundown for us.
Absolutely. Thank you. So as you guys know, we have a product update every Friday, except for this week. Whenever we have the Agora, we will be just having our general product update during this meeting, since they're a little bit overlapping. But to give you guys a quick high-level update on the product roadmap, we're making great progress with our phase one of our big Syracusa upgrade. Phase one includes our protected single pools. And from our update last week, we were working on testing these protected single pools. They were deployed to mainnet, no front end, just contracts were deployed for testing. That testing has been pretty successful, and we are now working on developing all of the strategies that we will be launching with for beta. One of those strategies is actually in the Gov polling channel right now. Launch with our ETH strategy for beta. That is in voting. So if you guys want to see that strategy implemented for beta launch, go ahead and vote there. And it will be moving to a snapshot vote in 5 days. There's also another governance proposal that's in voting for decreasing the time to vote for our process. Through the first few proposals, It seemed to be taking a little bit long. The entire process is about 2 to 3 weeks until something gets implemented and voted through Snapshot. So we're looking to decrease that a little bit. It'll just increase our producibility on the team side. Everything will move much faster. Um, it just encourages faster development. So go ahead and vote for that if that sounds like something you guys would like to see. But for the going back to the beta strategies, the launch for that, there is no launch date yet decided upon. But we will soon be updating you guys on that. Testing is going well. We're developing our launch strategies, so getting very close to that. Um, we've also been heads down working on utility for the Arch token and VArch holders. So there's going to be more information to come on this in the coming weeks. But with the new product development, we want to make sure that there's some solid utility and tokenomics behind earning the Arch token and actually utilizing it for something of your guys' benefits. That's the high level of what we're working on right now.
Yeah, busy. Yeah, and lots of cool updates. Hopefully, you feel like these are cool updates. But I think they're pretty cool updates coming to Archimedes. So we're really working on, just enhancing the product and making things that much better for View 2. So next up, we're going to move into marketing and biz development updates. So Rafa, the floor is yours. We might have a communication issue. I'm not sure if your mic's working, Rafa. Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there we go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a mic issue. Thanks for this. I am going to just do a quick rundown of what are the efforts going on the marketing side and also on the BizDev side. But Kyle and Alvin, please feel free to add anything you think it's important. So as Kyle said, launch is coming up soon. So you should see marketing ramp up over the next few weeks. We will not go with a super strong marketing for this first launch. As you may have heard, that we're going with a beta launch, kind of like more of a stealth launch, so more organic. We're also considering different marketing campaigns that we have not done for View 1. Now I will leave it up on that, and you can use your imagination on what that means. We will also be reviewing the results of the first month of the engagement campaign that finalized a few days ago with the objective of learning and improving for this upcoming month. This is a little bit of high level. We're focusing on marketing. High level on the BizDev side, we're a little bit of alpha for you, but we closed a partnership with Alchemix to support our leverage of the protected single pools. We will announce more details closer to the launch of the leverage, which is a couple of months down the line, actually, or even a little bit longer. But first, we will launch the protected pools, and then the leverage. That's when we will announce the Alchemix partnership. We're also working on closing similar partnerships as Alchemix with potentially Metronome, Tokamak, and other projects out there. We're also working on liquidity bootstrapping strategy for all of our pools, LVUSD, LVETH, and Arch pools. The main objective here is to enable anyone to participate in this liquidity bootstrapping program, but while also attracting big wallets into Archimedes, so we can easily we can scale the leverage side and people can access leverage without problems. Hopefully the demand will be high, but we're working on the liquidity side to enable that everyone can participate on the leverage side. So yeah, this is high level what we're working on right now on BizDev and marketing.
All right, thank you for that update, Rafa. Again, Rafa is the Archimedes CMO, so giving us all the updates on marketing and BizDev. Next up, we're going to speak with one of our engineers. I believe we have Carlos in the call, and we want Carlos to, if you could give us somewhat of a high-level checklist, what's happening on the development side of Archimedes.
Hey everyone. Yeah, 100%. So, first of all, we have started, well, we have made progress on testing a couple guarded single pool strategies. So, we went through the motions of getting them on mainnet and on our mainnet fork, and we have been testing them both. Um, Everything looks fine. We did find a couple bugs, which we are addressing right now that we will have to redeploy, but that is moving as I mentioned. And then the development started for the uh, guarding part of it. So as you may or may not know, there's two pieces to what a guarded single pool is. So there's the obviously the contracts, and then there's the guarding logic that lives off chain. That development has started as of this week and is moving. So those are the updates, really high level. I don't want to bore anyone with any super technical details, but that is what is going on and in the dev side of Archimedes.
Nice. Yeah, thank you, Carlos. Yeah, so the guarded side is coming up. Yeah, and yeah, again, just make sure you're tuned in for the information around single pools launching. And again, when we say single pools, yes, it's a liquidity pool. So it really shouldn't be much different to the user, but it's single in essence because our new product in V2 will have single pools, and then we'll also have omni pools. So multiple in one. It's a whole thing, and we'll touch on that more later. But next up, we're going to get a little nerdy, get our Greek on, as you will. And Rafa is going to speak with us a little bit about our L2 visions. So, what's happening there?
Of course. So we are, well, just to give a context of repeating a little bit again on the product roadmap, we're first going to develop on Ethereum, and very soon, fast following, we're going to deploy on Arbitrum. So that's our first expansion towards a different layer. Our vision, though, is to go omni-chain and enable users to access any DeFi opportunity in any chains out there that Archimedes supports. So we will hopefully work with the right solution, whichever that is, and I will touch upon a couple of them in it, to enable those kind of cross-chain, omni-chain usage of our product. We're currently considering two very different types of solutions. And the two main examples there are Layer 0 and Axelar. As I said, they're very different, right? So very high level, not getting too much into the technical details here, is Axelar is more of a bridge, and Layer 0 is a cross-chain messaging solution. They're very different solutions, but they can be used for the same type of objective at the end of the day. Our biz dev team, Kyle and myself, we need to do a little bit of a technical comparison here, and see how does that enable our vision of going omni-chain. That is going to come more down the line, though. That's more of an advanced vision part, and we'll only really work on that and develop anything that once our V2 or Syracusia upgrade is fully done. So yeah, that's the high level, not so nerdy topic today, since I didn't get too much into technical details yet. But this is a little bit of how we're thinking about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys have your own preference, so I know there's a lot of talk around Layer Zero right now, and protocols are implementing their OFT tokens like Radiant, and MIM as well. Recently, just went omni-chain with OFT Layer Zero. Exceler has also been getting some headwind in the CT space too. So if you guys have preferences and on what you guys would prefer, feel free to post ideation chats, propose one over the other, give your guys' argument. We're happy to look into the specific arguments that you guys have. We have not yet decided on the direction of that. Like Rafa said, it's not too top of mind. That's very, very future for our omnipools and the omni-chain direction. But feel free to give us your guys' preferences.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Kyle. And yeah, a good example of a third solution that I haven't talked about here is potentially wormhole. I'm not sure if everyone has seen here, but Uniswap V4 has done the Uniswap V4 team has done a very thorough analysis of the different bridges out there. And Acceler and Wormhole were the two only ones that passed their assessment. But obviously, they're very different solutions in Layer 0. Layer 0 is not a bridge. It's a different type of solution. So we're still considering all the solutions that were not flagged as technically apt solutions, so to speak, by the Uniswap V4 team. So please, would love to engage with you guys on ideation and go from there.
Yeah, I think a staying point there, a main point there is we want to hear from you. We want you, part of the community. Please get involved, join the Discord, speak in the governance channels, or list your ideations. Go ahead and put that forth. But this is a community, so very important there. Next up, we are going to be going into our deep dive of the day, and this deep dive topic is on the Syracusia upgrade. So typically we go into, with these deep dives, we like to go into a little bit more detail on specific features, and today it's more specifics on a topic or a concept, which is the Syracusia upgrade, phase 1 of the upgrade specifically, which we'll really be talking about today. But the Syracusia upgrade and what's coming for Archimedes V2, I would say, is more so what today's deep dive is about. So first up, kind of want to take you through a general checklist of what we've accomplished so far, because this Syracusia upgrade, as we call it, has 4 phases, and it started with phase 0. So phase 0 was kind of laying the groundwork for things. That included Archimedes getting governance up and running for the DAO. So now governance is active in our Discord and on Snapshot. For governance on Snapshot, we also have our 80/20 pool launched on Balancer. So for the Arch token, I should say, Arch token's 80/20 pool on Balancer and VE Arch launch on the website. So VE Arch is used for the voting there. And next steps, so that all encompassed phase 0. So it's pretty much before everything starts with the new strategies. And our new strategies is where we start to move into phase 1. So they're kind of separate in that sense, and that's why those are separate in that way. So phase 1 is all about these single pools, as you're hearing so much about. And so we can think of the single pools as the foundation to our new strategies. Once we have those up and running, we can start talking about leveraging these different pools, or having an omni pool using our pool hopper feature. Without getting too much in the weeds on any of those, some of the narratives that we're looking to branch into, or that we see V2 as fitting with, are stable coins. So still having a product that maximizes yields for stablecoin holders, specifically DeFi stablecoins as well. So a lot of these are synthetic assets or wrapped assets using different DeFi collateral. Leveraged yield, omnipools, which is a term seeing more and more in DeFi lately. Not very broadly, but with us jumping in there's one more to the list. LSDs or LSTs, so liquid staking derivatives or tokens, and just the general concept of LSDeFi protocols that deal with these different type of synthetic assets or Ethereum staking assets, as well as our safety checks, our health checks, providing an extra layer of security on these pools, because one of the things we learned, especially this year, is that even stable coins can go imbalance for time, and it's important that for us that we try to mitigate as much of that risk for our users as possible. Cool. As Carlos mentioned, the single protected pools, will be starting that. So that's when, and there's just now starting the guarded portion of those pools in development. When we launch these pools, it'll still be fairly early on. As Rafa mentioned, this is why we're not doing like a large marketing push toward the pools when we're launching. So we are moving pretty quickly, and the pools will not be audited at the time. However, we do have an ongoing relationship with Halborn Security, a top DeFi security, I think just like cybersecurity firm, not just DeFi. And so we will be having the pools audited. However, at their launch, they will not be. All right, yeah, shields up. Yeah. So with that said, I wanted to hand the mic back over to Kyle and see if there's anything else that you didn't get to share previously about yield strategies.
Definitely. I wanted to touch base on LST and LSDFi a little bit more. So just recently, the LSD ecosystem has been exploding over the past month. They've actually taken over market share from DEXs. So DEXs have accumulated about $15.5 billion in TVL, while liquid staking derivative protocols have actually just surpassed 20 billion, which is pretty impressive. Lido was leading this initially, but now there's plenty of other protocols that have launched their own variations of liquid stake derivatives on top of Ethereum. Similar to, for example, Rocket Pool, which is currently in governance ideation. There's also others like Frax or Alchemix, which actually accepts liquid stake derivatives on their protocol to create their ALETH token. So we really wanted to push this narrative at launch. And I will share this tweet right now. We have a tweet that is live for you guys to vote on which liquid staking derivative you would like to see in our beta launch, which one you guys like or which one you guys prefer. And would love to get your guys' opinion and see which liquid staking derivatives you guys want to see on the protocol to start with.
Thanks, Kyle.
You beat me, Kyle. I was about to send a tweet here. So that.
Oh. I had it ready to go. I think Lido is actually leading right now. As they led the space, it seems like people are still preferring Lido. But there's other alternatives out there. We are token agnostic. We do not necessarily care which token it is. We're all about serving you guys as the users, and we want to include strategies that you guys want to use.
100%. I thought it was interesting with the poll thus far that yes, Lido ended up taking the lead, and as you mentioned, they are kind of dominating the LSD marketplace. Not even kind of, they are. And then second comer or place, which I don't think they're actually, that's not the correct order of like market dominance, but Frax ETH or SFR stake Frax ETH. It's coming in second place with 35% right now. And yeah, just interesting to see them taking up some ground there. I am interested in that ecosystem just because of the whole Frax ETH and their chain and stuff like that coming up. Interesting, fascinating stuff from somebody in the space. Next up, we wanted to clarify. These options are for the single protected pools. So we're talking about individual pools. And again, those individual pools are what we need. We need those first before we can do omni pools. So pool hopping. And so I wanted to have one of our developers again go back to Carlos and see if you could give us a little bit more insight on what specifically omni pools are in comparison to single pools.
Yeah, 100%. So basically, the way this works is that well, I don't know if there's like if people have the concepts clear, but if not, we work with strategies and adapters. So basically, strategies is the overall contract that handles accounting and deposits and withdrawals, and then we have an adapter contract, which is what interacts with the pools. So what happens is in a very high level sense, there is well, all right, yeah.
Keep going. Sorry,
Thank
I think we had a mic come undone. And if I did mute
you.
you,
Well,
I'll mute you at the end. But Carlos, sorry, continue.
yeah, sorry. Yeah. So how it works right now is that a single pool strategy is basically what a strategy that just uses one adapter, but the same type of contract can use more than one adapter. So what happens is when you have different adapters, what we do is instead of putting all the money into one, we off-chain calculate how much of the money that is coming in or the rewards that are going to be recompounded go into each adapter, and that way we can manage different pools on the same strategy. That's what basically a multiple will be. Part of the good news is that part of the multi-pool implementation or the multi-pool contracts, you could say, is tested when we do single pools, since it's basically same contract, just more adapters added to it. So that speeds up a little bit of the process. And you could say multi-pools is already in the works because single pools is part of it. But yeah, that's basically how it works. It's just we just add pool managers, you could call them,
Okay.
to the same strategy.
Cool. So I feel like so the foundation again, it's we're starting the foundation right now, and everything's gonna be built on top of it. Truly a DeFi Lego situation. And if you're listening to this live and you want to hear that again, we're going to be uploading this to the Archimedes YouTube. We'll also be sharing that link in our Discord and on Twitter so that you can get a nice firm grasp of what our single pools are and what the omni pools are in a technical sense. So thank you for that, Carlos. To wrap us up, to wrap us up, I wanted to revisit our governance process and ideations. I know Kyle touched on it briefly earlier, or we touched on it a few times today, but we can touch on this one more time because I think this is important. And a lot of things that we're talking about right now, we're talking about these different single pool staking options, and you can vote on those right now in Archimedes. So Kyle, if you could take us through governance.
Governance is super important. It's going to become even more important into the future once these strategies are launched and once we've moved omni-chain and omni-pool. Because ultimately, you guys are going to be in charge of any new strategies that are posted. It's up to you guys to let us know what protocols you want us to build on top of. And in order to do that, you have to be a citizen in the Discord. Just pop in, start discussing with people, start talking about the protocol in general, and you'll reach citizen pretty quickly once you have been communicating with us and other users in the Discord. And then you'll gain access to be able to post in the ideations governance channel. And there, the idea is you will post whatever you want to see added to the protocol. And we encourage specifics there. So basically give us as much information as possible for what you would like us to include. Maybe specific contract addresses, specific protocol website links, just so we know exactly what you're talking about. And be sure to give us exactly what you want us to include. So it's easier for us to send this to vote, easier for users within the Discord to understand what you're proposing, and that'll help push the proposal along and be super clear to other citizens. And again, if you don't have the citizen role, you'll still be able to chat in the governance chat channel to talk about any ideas that are in the ideation channel. You just will not be able to post any ideations. So if you want to participate, you can either participate in discussion or the governance chat if you want to talk about specific either ideations or governance proposals that are about to go to snapshot vote. And once an idea has been confirmed that most of the community wants it, it'll move to governance polling. That'll be in the governance polling channel, and it will be live for 7 days, where you can simply vote with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If there are 75% of the votes are for a thumbs up, which is yes, that vote will move to an official vote on Snapshot, which you will need to hold VArch in your wallet in order to vote with. So you will have to lock your Arch in the 80-20 balancer pool. Sorry, you will have to LP your Arch in the 80-20 balancer pool, and then lock on the Archimedes website to earn that VArch, and then you will be eligible to vote for anything that you would like implemented onto the protocol. Moving forward, there will be a lot of governance proposals regarding strategies, so it'll be important for you to hold VArch to give your guys' opinion and vote for which strategies you think would be best to include going forward. And I think that wraps up what we wanted to talk about for this Agora, whether it's governance strategies. Feel free to send messages to product managers, me and now Max, goodheadinvesting.eth, and 0xkeiko. Post in ideation channel, post in the discussion channel. Yeah, I'll hand it back to Alvin to wrap us up.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Well put. Good adjustment. Anything to add there?
Sorry, just one last. Yeah, just one last little thing. Like folks may be asking why they should lock Arch to get VArch. Currently, the main reason is one, participating in the governance, like Kyle said, but there's also some rewards going on there. You can see that the current reward is around, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle, but 180% APY on the VArch. And in the future, we will also add utility for VArch holders. So there will be even more incentives for folks to hold VArch.